What's up, everybody? Yeah, your boy's feeling good. I'm feeling really good. I just woke up a little while ago, man, and I had a great gig last night. Those of you who don't know, I'm a musician as well as a weightlifter. Musician pays a little better than the weightlifting does. It's more of a labor of love. I do get paid to train people and coach occasionally, but not as much as could pay my bills or anything like that. So I do a lot of different things to get by, music being one of the main ones. So last night had my first on-stage gig in a while since I got this pretty gnarly knee injury and had to get surgery, and I was kind of out for the count for a while. I had to take a step back from everything. I was did a period of solitude, and we talk about a lot on these channels, on the SR channels, on the Chosen One kind of channels, all of that stuff. There's a period of time for all of us, you guys, for all of us in this spiritual family that we all belong to, if you resonate with me, where we're going to have to go through some periods of solitude in our life. And those are the periods where we tend to really get clear on who we are, what we're doing here, what we intend to do, what's right, what's wrong, what kind of people belong in our lives, what kind of people don't. And we get really clear on those kind of changes that we need to make. And we start to gather the spiritual strength to make those changes. That's where it happens in solitude, at least for me, because when I'm around a lot of people, it can be really hard to get in touch with myself, get in touch with the deeper aspects of my being. So I'm too busy kind of relating to other people and doing the whole social thing. So last night was like first kind of real social event I've had since I started SR. And it's been several months for me. And I've been doing a really good job. I've been sticking to the program, and it's changing my life. And so I just wanted to come on here and talk about my testimony about how this has been. And I'll keep checking in with you guys. This is, I think, an important thing to do is just kind of this is how it's going for me, you guys. Maybe it helps you stay the course of your journey. Maybe it inspires you to get on a journey like this. If you are a single man, I promise this is easily the best thing. Excuse me, the best thing that you could do, the best change you could make in your life. Because what's the alternative, right? If you're not retaining, then what are you doing, right? Well, you're either looking at corn, beating off, depleting your energy, and this is generally something that you do with a little, at least some sense of shame involved in there. That feeling afterwards where it's maybe during it you had getting a little dopamine fix and you feel good, but afterwards you're you don't feel as good. You don't feel as confident. And if you do it enough, you go out into a social environment, it's harder to look people in the eyes because you've been kind of hiding in the shadows doing this thing. Now, I don't want to cast shame on anybody for anything. I did so much of that for so much of my life, you guys, and I'm not ashamed of it, nor am I proud of it. It is what it is. It's an experience that I had to go through to learn. And so this SR experience is another experience that I absolutely had to go through to learn, and I'm going to continue to go through it because I love it. I'm falling in love with what this is doing for me, you guys, because I've struggled so much in my life with addictions and attachments, addictions to relationships, to being in love, to getting attention from females, addiction to sex, addiction to drugs, addiction to alcohol, you name it, right? I've been very prone to those things in my life, and I've been in bondage because of it. So this is one of the biggest steps I've ever taken in my life that's liberated me from that kind of bondage that's just been my reality for so long. It's so long that it became normal, and it's hard to even notice how bad it is when you're so used to being that bad, right? So you step out of that and things really start to open up for you guys, and your confidence level starts to shoot through the roof. Your charisma, you are so much more of a direct type of person. It's something I've been lacking all my life. And people tried to tell me, I couldn't really hear it, but I had people that were true friends, or family that were really looking out for me. And they'd kind of say man, you're so, kind of like ambiguous with stuff. It's like you know, you have a goal and it's like, well, maybe this, maybe that, or it's like maybe, you know, a lot of that sort of lukewarm kind of thing, right? And that for a man, it's not a good place to be, because you're not going to accomplish a lot that way. You're going to spend too much time sort of like, should I go left? Should I go right? And it's so much more effective, right? If you just have a clear purpose, a clear mission, you say, okay, this is what I'm doing. And then that's what gets your attention. So when you're on SR, you start to become more and more that way. And it's funny because you become kind of more of a serious type of a dude. And people know that about you. Like you command respect more. You know, people are less likely to try and walk all over you because you're more of a direct person and they can feel that energy. At the same time though, you do also get more childlike because you're not doing this weird shady stuff that you started doing in adolescence and adulthood. You're kind of more like you were when you were a kid. You know, you're more innocent now. And so you also have that kind of that childlike innocence about you. So you get to like laugh and be silly and funny and goofy, but in a much more holistic kind of wholesome kind of way, right? And it's great. We're just becoming more wholesome people in this process. So last night, back to last night, now I'm gonna close the video. Had a musical gig. I was playing with some of my friends I hadn't seen in a while. I had to drive up here to come do it. So I saw a bunch of people that haven't seen me since I started doing this. And it was just a trip, man, because back before I left town, I was in a bad way. My energy was down. I was doing bad things. And people just didn't really want to be around me. I mean, I had a handful of people that like loved me so much that they were trying to help, you know. They were like, oh man, you know, a lot of people like thought maybe I wasn't gonna make it, like maybe I was gonna like die or something. I mean, it was bad, you guys. I don't want to get into detail, but it was bad. And the transformation that's occurred is like mind-blowing. It blows my mind. But then it's crazy to just see that you go out into the world, people haven't seen you in a while, they just take one look at you and they're just like, they're thrilled. I mean, if they're real friends, they really love you. And the guys that I get to play music with, like, you know, praise Jesus, praise the Most High that I have these people in my life because they're really good people. And we vibe, man. When the music happens, it's something really spiritual, metaphysical, beautiful that just tends to happen on the stage. There's this conversation we have without words. We do a lot of improvising in this band, you know, so it's just such a powerful experience for me. And I felt so much joy and I felt so much clarity. And I haven't really been practicing music and I've been kind of beating myself up about it because usually I'm disciplined with that. I've just been focusing on other areas of my life. And so kind of had to put that on the back burner a little bit. But, you know, I had the guitar in my hand and man, my clarity, my sharpness, my confidence, you know, no fear whatsoever. And I was so much more able to sort of just kind of look people in the eye, communicate with the people on stage, communicate with the crowd. I was so much more confident on the mic. I did a lot more singing than I normally do, like kind of talking to the crowd, just have more charisma. And it wasn't something I planned on or like tried to do. It was just something I noticed that was just naturally kind of flowing out of me. And then the lady running sound after the show is a good friend of mine. She's a dear friend. I love her. She's kind of like a second mom to me. She loves me like I'm a son or something. So the smile on her face, she just came up and she goes, Tim, you know, she was just like, that's the best I've ever heard you play. And sang. And she's like, I'm just floored at how good you did and how good you look and how much better you sound and everything, you know. And I just gave her a big hug and I'm just like, Trudy, you know, it's the grace of God, you know, and she's a believer too. And so she was, you know, amen. And it filled my soul up. And I came home and I slept like a baby. And I woke up and I haven't even had my coffee yet. And I'm fired up and I love life. And this is the blessings. I could start crying. I'm so grateful, you guys. This is the blessings that you get when you're obedient to God's laws, man. I never really did this before. I never really went all the way with it. You know, I was lukewarm. You know, I said, okay, I'll do this. I'll abstain from this sin. But I don't know about this one, man. I really like this one. When you get to the point where you're really willing to drop all of that, God sees it. And he's going to reward you. And it's not necessarily going to be with material things. Like the crazy thing is, like, I got paid for last night. I got paid money, enough money that I can feed myself for probably the rest of the week, just with the money I made playing music. What a gift, right? But beyond that, man, I'd do it for free. I'd do it for free. I would stay on the SR mission, whether I ever made another penny or got, you know, a woman's attention or anything like that. It's not about that, man. It's about the gifts of the Holy Spirit. It's about the freedom, the joy that I have, man. It's like being a kid again, but you're an adult and you got some wisdom, and you can command respect from people, and you can be tough when you need to be. It's the best. It makes you into the best version of yourself, you guys. That's what's happening for me. So I'm not stopping. I'm falling in love with SR, and this way of life is going nowhere, man. Nowhere. This beats any relationship I've ever been in. Period. All right? So I just had to come on here and testify for you guys, dude. All praise to the Most High. None of this happens without his intervention in my life. Without his salvation, I would be dead. I would be dead. But instead, I get to sit here and I get to share good news with you guys. All right? That's the truth. So peace and love. All the best. Stay the course. Stay strong. Oh, and please, I really want to grow this channel. I feel like I have something valuable to share with the world. And I want to share it with you, as many people as possible. And I want people to comment. Let me know. Tell me if you're on SR, man. Testify. Let me know what's going on for you. And if you're struggling, let me know. You know, maybe I've had that struggle too, and I can help you. Let's talk about this thing. Let's grow this community. You know, it's just the way it is with online. If you don't hit that button. It's just easy. You just click a couple of buttons, and it helps grow the channel. It's that simple. You know, I don't want nobody's money. None of that. Just help me grow the channel so that this message can spread more. All right. I love you guys. Peace.